Welcome back. It almost seems like a distant memory, considering what a politically charged year it's been. But in May, many South Africans were up in arms about a portrait of the president with his genitals exposed, known as the Spear of the Nation. It raised the issues of privacy, respect for high office, and freedom of expression.
The Spear of the Nation painting hung in the Goodman Gallery for days. It wasn't paid much attention until City Press published a picture of it. Within days, howls of outrage from the ANC, from government, from millions of ordinary South Africans.
Don't buy City Press, don't buy! Don't buy City Press, don't buy!
The Goodman Gallery was asked to remove the painting. They refused. The debate raged on. How far does freedom of expression go? And what about the president's right to dignity? Then, in a day of high drama, two men defaced the painting. Exclusively, Third Degree was there to capture the action.
Why are you asking him? He's the guy who did it. You know what? He's the guy that painted it.
The perpetrators were arrested. The gallery closed its doors. The Film and Publications Board slapped a 16-year age restriction on the painting. But a few months later, a tribunal overturned the ruling, said that the Film and Publications Board had overstepped its boundaries. The issue of privacy and respect for high office stayed in the spotlight. President Zuma had brought a R5 million defamation suit against cartoonist Jonathan Shapiro, better known as Zapiro, for this controversial drawing that made headlines in 2008. But in an about turn, as court proceedings were set to start in October, the president dropped the charges and, astonishingly, agreed to pay 50% of Zapiro's legal bills.
I've wanted for 4 years to get into court and say, this is why I did the drawing, and I believe that the drawing is correct, and I believe that you were bullying the judiciary and are still doing so.
The presidency claimed charges were withdrawn because they didn't want to set a legal precedent that would encroach on freedom of expression.
There are 15 defamation claims that were issued by President Zuma since 2006. Of those claims, 12 remain live. In other words, they are still outstanding. And the cumulative total of those claims is around 50 million rand. So they create a chilling effect, and I'm hoping that the precedent set by the president withdrawing this defamation case will be carried forward with the other cases, and that they will also be withdrawn in due course.
Ongoing bad press for Zuma. It wasn't long before Minister of Higher Education Bladen Zamande called for the anti-insult law. It's a law that exists in many African countries and would make it illegal to express insulting remarks about the president, irrespective of if they're true or not. And to end a bad year for the president, opposition parties called for a vote of no confidence in him. The debate is due to take place early in 2013.
Now, staying with Parliament, huge controversy erupted when the Traditional Courts Bill was introduced earlier this year. Whilst many rural communities always lived under age-old customary law, critics of the bill say this one will give enormous additional powers to kings, chiefs and headmen, and will deprive villagers access to our regular courts. So when the president of our constitutional democracy appeared to endorse the bill, his comments were met with outrage.
While many traditional leaders are wise men concerned with the well-being of their communities, there are those who blatantly discriminate against some of their people. Men like Chief Ndevu of Amabomvu in the Eastern Cape, one of the chiefs who wants gay rights reversed. In his eyes, homosexuality is completely un-African.
Traditionally, we do not have gays and lesbians.
The Traditional Courts Bill proposes to give men like Ndevu the power to make laws, to arrest, to preside over cases, to sentence. If the bill becomes law, leaders like Ndevu will be legislator, policeman, prosecutor and judge, and his prejudice is glaring.
I will never preside over a case of a gay and lesbian. Well, I do not know it. I don't have a guideline to deal with it in the first place. Well, I have never seen it. I'm 50 years old now and I've never seen a gay and a lesbian in my community. And it's ungodly, it's immoral, it's you know, gay and a lesbian. It's something that never existed. You know, it's something I dalwang, you know, a gay and a lesbian. I dalwang, I call it Zudalugu. It's just that
a traditional leader embraces people whoever they are, whatever their choices. And it is not his role or her role to ask what your sexual orientation is.
We should stand up as inkos, singande lento same-sex marriages. Ayikho right. This is more like a disaster. Ifana nje nokuthi kufika cholera kufa abantu. Because ayihlukanga ekufikeni kwesifo sombulalazwe.
Many believe the proposed law will strip rural communities of their rights to a fair hearing. Customary law is, after all, not written down. It differs from village to village, so it's open to abuse. And that is why there was widespread shock when President Zuma appeared to support the bill. In the House of Traditional Leaders in Parliament, he started out acknowledging the bill was flawed. Then he veered off his prepared speech and made remarks widely interpreted as endorsing extra powers for chiefs and kings.
We have a way of solving problems. And I was saying that day, I gave this example. In no way we cannot resolve our disputes. Let us not be influenced by other cultures and try to think that lawyers are going to help us. Well, lawyers will never change facts. No matter what judge says, I always criticize legal people. I know there are many lawyers here. Well, they will tell you, we are dealing with cold facts. What they don't tell you is that these cold facts deal with warm bodies.
Doublespeak from the head of our constitutional democracy. It can only lead to more confusion on such a crucial bill. And that investigation was the runner-up in the Webber Wentzel Legal Journalist of the Year Awards. Well done to producer Modimolle. After the break, a burn victim finds her voice.